Number 30. Observers 2.32 miles apart, so these two observers here, see a hot air balloon directly between them, but at angles of elevation shown in the figure. Find the altitude of the balloon to the nearest. What is the altitude of the balloon to the nearest foot? All right, so we want to know how high this air balloon is. So we're looking for the h here. Now, the problem is I cannot use, though it looks like I now have a right triangle, which I do, and I have another one over here, I cannot use psi y cos x tangent is y over x, because I don't actually know an x value, nor do I know, I put an h there for height, but let me change that to a y, nor do I know the y value here, nor do I know a hypotenuse on either triangle. I know this value all the way across, but I can't do anything further. So to solve this, we're actually going to have to use either the law of cosines or law of sines. To help us out, I want to move this away. To use law of sines, I have to have a completed set. And as I look at this, I can come up with one, because I can find this angle right here. Every triangle has 180 degrees. So if I subtract from 180 and take away the two angles, I'll first take away 28. And when I do that, I get 152. And then I'll take away this 37. And when I do that, I get 115 degrees. That is my angle right here. Now, some people are thinking, well, let's put this back and cut it in half. Can't do so. These aren't the same, so this is not obviously in the middle. It would not be directly cutting in half. So again, I have to use the law of sines. Now, if I use law of sines, though, I can find one of these other two sides. So let me show you the formula first. Formula chart, here it is, law of sines. So I'm going to take any angled pair with its side, so I'm going to use these and say that sine of 115 degrees over 2.32 will equal any other angle and the side across from it. So I'll just find this side right here, across from A. So we'll say that sine of 28 degrees over 8 will be equal to the sine 115 over 2.32. Now to solve this, we either do a butterfly method or cross multiply divide, whichever way you would call that. And you could also solve in the calculator. But we would come up with this relationship after we cross multiplied. And I forgot the degree symbol right there. And then after you cross multiply, you must also divide to get A by itself. So I divide by 115 degrees. And so this is what I'm going to type in the calculator. Oops. Sine of 115 degrees. So 2.32 sine of 28. 2.32 sine of 28 degrees is going to be divided by sine of 115 degrees. I hit enter, and I get 1.201. I'm going to go to the nearest thousandth, 1.202. So I'm going to say that A equals 1. Actually, to make sure I don't have any rounding, like to make it more accurate, let's go 1.20177. 20177. Did I say it right that time? I did. Okay, so we're going to go to this value here, and this would be in miles. And now that we know this A, we can actually go back and solve this as a right triangle, because now we can say I have a hypotenuse. And so when I come back here, if A equals 1.20177, I can now say I have the hypotenuse. How do I find the y? Well, I want to use a trig function, and I want y to be on top of h. So which one has y on top of h? That would be psi y. So the sine function is y over h. So I could say sine, and the angle here is 37 degrees, equals y, which is unknown, over 1.20177. I multiply this both sides by 1.20177. I do it over here as well. And let's see what we get. So I'm going to take that same value and multiply it times sine of 37 degrees. Now, because I didn't type in the first part, I just took this, I'm going to give you a more accurate answer. So it says it's 0.72 miles. And this is definitely rounding. Now, to get my final answer, what I'm going to do is, this is in miles, and it says find it into the nearest foot, which means, to get this in the nearest foot, I need to multiply 1 mile. How many feet are there in 1 mile? 5,280. And this would cancel miles out. And so let's see what we get when we multiply our value by 5280. I get 3818.73. 3818, I'm just going to say y equals 3818.7 feet. And this said round to the nearest foot. So my answer would be 3819. That would be my answer here. This is in feet. 3819. And that's my answer in feet.